Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to give you a soft sell or wash away the truth. I'm not here to help you. I'm here to give you honest advice that might be a little hard to hear. If you are over 60 or getting close to that age, you may have noticed changes in your body. Your legs might not be working as well as they used to, and it might be getting harder for you to get out of a chair or climb stairs. This could mean that your strength is going down a little. Someone close to you might tell you that it's just part of getting older, and that everyone gets weaker with age, and there's nothing you can do about it. That being said, I want to make it clear that something is not normal just because it is popular. Sarcopenia is the name of the condition you are going through, and it is marked by the fact that your muscle mass and strength are slowly going down. It's not something you have to accept, and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't just happen. Sarcopenia is a type of dementia that doesn't show itself right away. It can take away your freedom, your health, your confidence, and even your will to get out of bed in the morning. The good news is that you don't need a bunch of expensive pills, a fancy gym membership, or that miracle anti-aging serum that you see on late-night TV. Sincerely, all you need is one simple but important change in your daily life, which you can start doing right away, no matter what age or situation you are in. For this to happen, all you have to do is put whole eggs back on your plate every day. I did in fact say eggs. One thing that people often get wrong and attack badly is the egg, which is a pretty basic food item. On the other hand, new study has shown that it is also one of the best foods for your muscles, especially as you age. When you think about it, you don't just build strength in the gym. You also do it in the kitchen. There are important amino acids in eggs, especially one called leucine, which is like a key that starts the engine of muscle growth and repair. Your body will slowly break down more muscle than it builds if you don't get enough leucine. A common misunderstanding is that protein is only good for lifters. This is not true at all. Protein is an important part of life. Some of the benefits of eating protein are being able to stand up on your own, go up and down stairs, catch yourself if you fall, play with your grandkids, or even just walk to the mailbox. About 6 grams of full high-quality protein can be found in one large egg, so each and every bite is important. Eggs have many important nutrients in them, like vitamin D, vitamin B12, and choline, which your body can understand, use, and benefit from. However, don't just eat eggs. Do so with a clear goal in mind. When your body is catabolic, which is a fancy word for saying that your muscles are breaking down after a night of fasting, you should eat these foods as soon as you wake up in the morning. Some people think that skipping breakfast is good for their waistlines, but the truth is that it makes their muscles hungry. What's even more important is that eating well isn't just good for your body, it's also about being responsible for what you do. Making the choice to feed yourself is an act of bravery because it fights against the slow progression of time. Putting those eggs on your plate is like saying, "I will not give in to weakness." Saying, "I will not fade away without a fight," may sound dramatic, but losing your strength, your confidence, and your sense of who you are is just as dramatic. You are not totally useless. You still have work to do. Since you have a choice, you should start with something simple and radical. Mix 2 or 3 eggs every morning and make them any way you like. Mostly because strength isn't just about being able to move, it's also about having pride. The important thing is to be able to live your life the way you want to. You need to take care of yourself before anyone else does. You need to get going right away. First you should eat eggs, and then you should start getting stronger before it takes too long. People over 65 lose muscle mass, which is called sarcopenia. This disease has taken away the strength, vitality, and independence of millions of people just like you. The most disappointing thing about this is that most people don't even know it's happening until it's too late. Pains, aches, and not being able to stand up are all thought to be normal parts of getting older. This belief has been passed down from generation to generation. But this story is not only wrong, it also puts people in danger. Weight loss isn't some weird curse that appears out of nowhere. It's not like that. It does happen because of biological reasons, but it happens more often because of choices people make in their daily lives and not doing anything. Most people start to lose strength around the age of 30. there is a chance that you will lose up to 50% of your muscle mass by the time you are 70 or 80 years old if you get nothing done. 15. It's not just the process of getting older. We allowed this slow breakdown of our bodies to happen because we thought it was natural. But here's the truth, losing muscle not only makes you look weak, it also makes it impossible to do things. When you lose muscle, your body forgets how to do simple things like getting out of a chair, walking slowly, and landing on your feet if you fall. Your reluctance to go for a walk is not because you are lazy, but because you are afraid of falling and not being able to get back up fast enough to keep walking. People with sarcopenia not only lose muscle, but they also lose their freedom, their independence, and their sense of self-worth. This is not how life should be, but some people may just shrug their shoulders and say, "That's just life." The human body is naturally set up to adapt, heal, and become stronger when faced with hardship. You may be having trouble as you get older, but that doesn't mean you have to give up. In fact, sarcopenia is often caused by giving up, which means sitting for long periods of time, not eating enough protein, and not moving around enough, and deciding that it doesn't matter. Still, it's important. When you lose muscle, it changes more than just your arms and legs. It changes your metabolism, immune system, blood sugar, and even your brain. Loss of muscle is a big problem. Muscle is a term for biologically active tissue. Your hormones will stay in check, your bones will stay strong, your joints will stay stable, and your mind will stay sharp. Losing muscle makes you more likely to get diseases like osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, inflammation, and even dementia. This isn't just a normal part of getting older. You can avoid and fix it if you're willing to do what you need to do. Realizing that every bite you take, and every step you take, or don't take, is important, is the first thing that you need to do to take action. The answer is not a brand new drug, or vitamin that works like magic. It's right in front of you, and the first thing you need to do is recognize the problem. People will lose their strength, stability, and eventually their freedom if they don't understand that muscle loss isn't just a normal part of getting older, but a serious disease that gets worse over time. Because of this, we need to change the way we're talking. Being aware is not only a good thing to do, it is also very important for this reason. You are no longer just a subject of time, you are now a player in your own future, once you know what is at stake, and that you can do something about it. There are different ways to eat. You can move with a clear goal in mind. You can make small changes that will have a big effect on the quality of your life in a few weeks, months, or years. Not only does sarcopenia take a long time to form, but it could have been easily avoided. The good news is that you can still change your plans, no matter where you are on your trip. The human body is very strong. You can expect it to answer whether you are 70 or 80 years old, as long as you give it the food, resistance, and consistency it needs. This is very true if you start right away. Tell people to stop calling it aging, and call it what it really is, a wake-up call. This message could totally change your future, if you choose to listen to it. If you choose to ignore it, you will be very sorry. There's more to muscle than just being strong, and able to move heavy things. Your strength, health, and ability to keep your balance, all depend on how much muscle you have. Building muscle is important for your life. Not only does losing muscle make you weaker, but it also takes away your confidence, freedom, and the ability to do things you love. And this is why strength is really life for older people. Most of the time, when we think of muscle, we think of athletes or bodybuilders. But for older people, muscle is important for life. You can stand up, walk, take groceries, and catch yourself if you fall down because of the tissue. Things that were easy before become hard when you lose too much strength. Things in life become more limited when the basics get hard. Stop stretching, bending, and climbing. Instead of getting up and moving around, you stopped. You don't feel like the world is closing in on you, because your soul is dying. It's because your body can't handle it. Crazy as it may sound, the amount of muscle bulk you have is strongly linked to how long you live. Researchers have recently found that muscle mass is a better predictor of life expectancy than body weight or body mass index. That's a huge amount of money. People have told us to be afraid of fat, and to try to be thin. But muscle is actually the key to living a longer and healthy life. Muscles help keep your bones healthy, keep your spine straight, control your blood sugar, and keep your immune system strong. Many health problems can be avoided by keeping your muscle mass up. These include, but are not limited to falls, broken bones, diabetes, and even chronic inflammation, which can cause heart disease and memory loss. In fact, your muscles help your brain work better. Why is time so important, especially as you get older? Now let's talk about the window of chance that almost no one uses the first few hours after waking up. Your body will go into a catabolic state when you go to sleep. Due to the fact that you haven't eaten in several hours, your body is likely breaking down muscle to get the energy it needs. It is possible for that breakdown to continue if you don't give your body the foods it needs, especially high-quality protein. From day to day and year to year, this slow loss adds up over time. This is why a lot of older people feel weaker in the morning, or realize they don't have as much energy as they used to. What about the number of older people who either don't eat breakfast at all or eat very little, like a piece of toast, a bowl of cereal, or a cup of coffee? Unfortunately, these diets don't do much to stop muscle loss or help muscles grow back, because they are high in carbs and low in protein. It seems like your muscles are hungry as soon as you wake up, but all you give them are empty calories. Not only is this a missed chance, but it's also a slow sign of giving up. But what if you start your day by giving your body the nutrients it needs to work right? What would happen if you made eating eggs every day, which are a great source of protein? Eating eggs first thing in the morning is not only good for you, but it also sends a message. When you eat eggs, you get all the key amino acids that your body needs. Most importantly, they have a lot of leucine, which is the amino acid that starts muscle protein synthesis. As soon as you wake up, eat 2 or 3 eggs. This tells your body, it's time to build, not break down. Eggs are a good source of protein. For older people, this is very important information, because as you age, your muscles become less open to protein. The scientific name for this is anabolic resistance, and it means that you need more protein, but you need the right kind of protein at the right time. Don't wait until lunch or dinner to get your first serving of high-quality protein. By the time you do, your body is already running on less protein than it needs. If, on the other hand, you eat eggs early in the morning, you not only stop muscle tissue from breaking down, but you also start the day strong. But the benefits go beyond your body. They also change the way you think and what drives you. By starting your day with a breakfast that is important to you, you can set the stage for an amazing day. It gives you more strength, roots, and the urge to move around. If you eat protein in the morning, your blood sugar will stay stable, your energy will stay steady, and you may even feel less hungry later in the day. These changes make you want sugar less, snack less, and are better for your health in the long run. Food isn't the only thing at stake, it's also about not giving in. Deciding to eat a real breakfast with real nutrition, even though skipping breakfast or settling for something easier would be more convenient, is an act of will. This way of thinking, I respect my body, and I will give it what it needs, strengthens over time, leading to better health, more self-confidence, and greater resilience in the person. The slow slide into a bad diet, not moving around much, and mental fog is one of the biggest risks seniors face. Inertia is one of the most dangerous things. Starting to change that starts with the simplest choices: get up, move around, and eat a substantial breakfast. It's not just bread, it's not just oatmeal. Real muscle-building food is whole eggs, maybe with a slice of sourdough bread, or some vegetables. There's nothing fancy about it, it's just powerful, complete, and useful protein. When you think about how your body reacts to food, it's important to keep this in mind. There are signals coming to it. You are telling your body what nutrients are available, what it should prioritize, and what kind of setting it is living in when you eat something, especially a nutrient-dense food, like an egg. To keep your muscles and build new ones, the messages you send must be clear, strong, and regular enough to beat the resistance that comes with getting older. This makes it possible to send the clearest and loudest message. Eating 3 large eggs will give you about 1.5 grams of leucine. It starts the chemical process that your body needs to keep its strength going. When you mix this with a small amount of Greek yogurt, cheese, or even whey protein, people often get it wrong when they say that eating enough protein throughout the day isn't enough. They need to eat enough of the right amino acids at the right times to get their bodies into muscle building mode. But don't stop there. Protein is the building block, but resistance is what brings that building block to life. Some exercises, like walking, are great for your heart, but they are not enough to make your muscles huge. To test your muscles, lift something heavy, use resistance bands, do workouts with just your body weight, or even do something as simple as carrying groceries with purpose. When you put force on the muscle, it will tear into very small pieces. This is good for you, so don't worry about it. If you then eat the right amount of protein, your body will rebuild those fibers and make them stronger than they were before. It's a strong attitude. That's progress. What's the most exciting part? There is never a second chance. Research has shown that people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s can still gain a lot of muscle if they eat enough protein and do strength training. There are still all the parts that are needed for change. They are just waiting to be used. The perks go far beyond just getting in shape. Getting more muscle can help you better control your blood sugar, make your immune system stronger, lower inflammation, and make it less likely that you will trip and break a bone. What it means is confidence. This is what it means: freedom. It needs to be made clear that this is not a treat. You don't have to be driven to get something out of it, because not doing something will have such bad effects. You have a biological duty to yourself to do it. Sarcopenia, which is also called age-related muscle loss, is a major health risk that can even kill you. It starts with a small increase in the amount of work you have to do to stand, a lost step, or a fall from which you can't get up. Besides that, there are injuries, hospitalizations, and a steady drop in the number of people involved. Most of it could have been avoided or slowed down by making a clear and organized promise to eat enough protein and do purposeful physical exercise a few times a week. There's no need for you to join a gym or train like a bodybuilder. To reach your goals, all you have to do is eat right and move around. Take care of your muscles, like they're the only thing that can save you, because they are. It adds up over time. Every time you squat, crack an egg, or pull on a resistance band, you are getting stronger in more ways than one. You are getting closer to freedom. And freedom, not decline and illness, is what getting older should be about. Being able to live your life the way you want to, without fear, with power, vitality, and vitality. So the simple question that needs to be answered is, will you let yourself get weaker as time keeps wearing you down, or will you fight back in a smart, consistent, and determined way? The instruments are already in your hands. The food is now on your plate. You get to choose. Let's not be afraid to say what we think. This is not the time for small talk or lying that makes us feel good. Everything we do will lead to old age at some point, but it hasn't been decided how it will show up in your thoughts and body. You are not someone who is controlled by the calendar, unless you choose to be. Loss of muscle, becoming more fragile, and slowly losing your strength are not always what you should expect. You can stop it. You have the power to fight back. An even bigger surprise is that this drive starts with something as simple as the food you put on your plate. There is one thing that is eaten, one thing that is done, and one choice that is made every morning: the egg. Not at all. This isn't just about food. It's about taking back control of your body, your future, and your freedom. Every egg you lay, every protein pill you take at the right time, and every second you choose to move instead of stay put, sends a message to your body. You can read this word as I am still here. It means I am still important. This is not how I'm going to leave. That's not an emotional thing to say. We use the science method to do that. The body clearly understands when you feed it heavily, when you go over the leucine level, when you plan your meals with care, and when you combine protein with resistance training. If you feed it, it will listen to what you say. You don't need it to be perfect. You need to be consistent. The first thing you need is the courage to start, the humility to learn, and the self-control to keep going. You're not adding years to your life. Instead, you're making the years you already have more lively. Being alive is not the same thing as really living. There is a big difference between the two. Okay, seniors, stop losing strength right away. It's not going to happen tomorrow. When it suits you, not at all. Now, start with just one food. Start with eggs. Start with your next meal. And that small act of survival can be the start of a bigger project: getting stronger, feeling more alive, and refusing to give up what's most important: your freedom, your honor, and living your life the way you want to. Choose your own strength. Make the first move. Decide that you will start today. Then let's put everything together, shall we? While you have listened to everything that has been said up until this point, you are still asking, does this really matter? Is it true that consuming eggs and engaging in some resistance training will have a significant impact on whether or not I see a decline in strength in my later years? This is the correct response. It's not because eggs are magical, or because resistance bands are some kind of new wonder. Rather, it's because the human body is designed to react to the signals that you send it on a daily basis, regardless of how old you are. Take into consideration the fact that each time you have a meal, you are not just supplying your stomach with food, you are also providing your body with instructions. When you exercise, stretch, or lift, you are communicating to your body, I want to keep my muscle, I want to stay strong, and I want to keep my independence. Keep in mind that this is not about being an athlete overnight, or being perfect. It is about taking responsibility for your actions, choosing choices that are both tiny and intelligent, and stacking those choices throughout the day, until they become your new normal. If you are above the age of 60, you are no longer able to coast on the benefits of youth, yet you still have the ability to influence your own health situation. It is, in point of fact, more vital than it has ever been before. Consider what occurs when you do nothing about the situation. Sarcopenia sounds more like a whisper than a yell. To begin, it makes typical activities a little more challenging. It's possible that getting out of bed takes more time. It's possible that you're feeling unbalanced. Before you walk the stairs or cross the street, you can notice that you are hesitant to do either of those things. These little hesitancies become more pronounced over time. As time goes on, you begin to shun certain activities. You find yourself sitting more and moving less, and before you realize it, you've set yourself on a downhill spiral. Your muscles become smaller, your bones become more fragile, your metabolism slows down, and your self-assurance decreases. There is a possibility that you will experience a sense of being a spectator in your own life, as you watch the world shrink and shrink. The truth is, however, that you do not have to spend your life in such a manner. Your life may be reclaimed one meal, one repetition, and one morning at a time, until you reach your goal. You have the ability to be the one who declares, I intend to fight back. It is my decision to put money into my future. I have made the decision to make the following decade my most successful one to date. The scientific evidence is unambiguous, and the accounts of actual individuals are even more unambiguous. Seniors who make protein a priority, who make eggs a regular part of their daily routine, and who incorporate resistance training into their routines, not only slow down the degeneration of their bodies, but they frequently reverse it. No, we are not talking about miracles that happen overnight. It is not about suddenly running marathons, or waking up with muscles that are bulging out of your body. Regaining the ability to stand up from a chair with easily walking further without becoming fatigued. Carrying groceries without fear, and playing with grandchildren with delight rather than anguish, are all examples of consistent progress that can be made. Think about the pride that comes from accomplishing things for oneself, the freedom that comes from moving through the world with confidence, and the dignity that comes from requiring less assistance. You have the ability to accomplish all of this, and it all begins with the decisions you make at your next meal and your next movement. Let's talk about the steps that are actually taken. In the morning of tomorrow, rather of skipping breakfast or contenting yourself with toast or coffee, you should crack 2 or 3 eggs. Try poaching them, scrambling them, or boiling them. Whatever method works best for you. You don't need to bother about making it look fancy. You should simply make it work. A handful of veggies or a slice of healthy grain bread should be included if you are able to do so. It would be much nicer if you had some Greek yogurt or a tiny bit of cheese. You want to reach that leucine threshold so that you can send a signal to your body that it is time to grow muscle rather than break it down. If you are able to, try to do this every morning. There is no substitute for consistency. Simply beginning with breakfast is all that is required of you to make a complete transformation to your diet overnight. Consider incorporating some movement into this. When you are finished eating, get off of your chair and get up and sit down 10 times. If you have access to a resistance band, you can use it. If you do not, you can just lift a bottle of water or a bag of rice. The important thing is to put your muscles through some kind of test, even if it's just a little bit. You will be able to accomplish more as time goes on. You should keep track of your progress, rejoice in your victories, and keep in mind that even the smallest of steps is a success. It's possible that you're thinking, but I don't have the energy, or I'm too old to start now. However, I want to share something with you that is quite powerful. Studies have shown that people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s may develop muscle, improve their balance, and regain their independence if they participate in resistance exercises and consume an adequate amount of protein. When you give the appropriate signals, your body will wait for you to do so. It is not a barrier to act now, rather it is a cause to act immediately. Never judge yourself based on how others are. Don't stress about outperforming everyone else. Try to make each day a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and a little bit more capable than the previous one. Exactly like that, true transformation takes place. In addition, if you have a setback, if you skip a day, or if you feel disheartened, keep in mind that a single poor meal, one missed workout, or one challenging week will not erase your gains. The important thing is to get back on track as often as possible until it becomes something that comes naturally to you. People have been wrongly worried about eggs causing heart disease for a long time. Now that science has moved forward, we know that a moderate egg intake is safe for most people. Also, for seniors, eggs are one of the best ways to get the nutrients they need for strong muscles, sharp minds, and healthy bodies. If you can't eat eggs because of an allergy or medical condition, talk to your doctor about other high-quality protein sources. Eggs, on the other hand, are a gift for almost everyone else because they are cheap, easy to prepare, and full of the nutrients your body needs to stay strong. Don't let old information keep you from aging with power and honor. The next step is to look ahead. Imagine a world in which you are able to stand up from your chair without feeling self-conscious, that place where you can go outside without worrying about falling. As you engage in play with your grandchildren and try to keep up with their level of activity, this is the place where you can socialize with your friends, participate in activities, and take pleasure in your independence. This is not a dream, rather it is the possibility of living your life. This road is constructed in stages, one after the other, one meal at a time, and one repetition after another. Protein serves as the material upon which it is constructed, together with the power of resistance and the momentum of daily action. It is up to you to design the course of your future. It is not necessary for you to wait for the ideal moment. You do not want permission, and you most certainly do not have to carry out the task by yourself. Get in touch with your loved ones. Extend an invitation to a buddy to come along, or just begin quietly on your own. The trip you are on is yours, but the progress you make will motivate other people. There is no stop because you make choices every day. Do I move toward strength, or do I move toward weakness? The body is always changing and adapting to the signals it receives from its environment. If you take care of it, it will reward you with years of vitality, resilience, and independence. If you feed it well, challenge it strategically, and rest it in the right way. If you don't, you run the risk of being a prisoner of your own body, which is not limited by your age, but by the choices you have made or not made. The good news is that the procedure is never final. You can keep pushing the curve upward as long as you are alive. You can gain muscle, protect it, and build it back up. At any age, you can become stronger than you ever thought possible. Starting with eggs in the morning the next day is not a diet or a complete overhaul. It's just a simple and constant act of respect for oneself. You should combine it with some movement, whatever you can do. Do this again the next day, and the day after that. Be sure to notice how your energy returns, your confidence grows, and your universe opens up. Share your successes and encourage others to do the same. You should look for answers, if you have questions, and find ways to get around problems if you run into them. Remember that you are not the only one going through this. There is a group of people who, like you, have chosen to age with strength, perseverance, and a sense of purpose. You have been told the truth: muscle is life, protein is strength, and resistance is freedom. Eggs are not your enemy, they are your ally. The way forward is clear, the tools are easy to use, and the time has come. You must not let another day go by without acting. Do what you need to do, claim your power, and change your story. The rest of your life will be the best of your life, because you have everything you need to make it that way. Choose your own strength and dignity. Decide to take action right now. Your body, your future, and your freedom are all waiting for you to do so. Break the eggs open, take a stand. Start over. It is your turn to write the next chapter.